Nightwalker Loop, how's it going, guys? Never see you come. Zaza, how's it going, buddy? How you doing? Nightwalker's being very nice today. What's happening here? Excuse me? I'm pretty good too, Zaz. I'm pretty good too. It's still supposed to be a few hours later. What is Loop? Alright, we're back, baby. How's it going? See you coming. No, stream is exactly when it was scheduled. Like, I mean, we'll start in 15 minutes, but stream is exactly when it was scheduled to be. Brimo, I don't think I've seen you here before, man. Thanks for popping by. How you doing? Pushkar, I'm good, buddy. How you doing? Okay, so R-A... Yeah, we'll do Ted Pushkar. That's when, that's the number that, Luvian said I should get to for the next stream. He did also say I could end it at, like, 86, but, mama ain't raised no bitch. It's all good. Romero isn't here. What's up? Manish, how's it going, man? How you doing? Going on in the story right now. Klein just adopted his new persona, like the wandering magician. So he's like walking around. He gave a guy a free beer because he wished for it. He rebuilt a guy's house because he asked for it. He let a little girl hug her dad who died in the war. It's good. It's good. Alright, let me just get everything set up over here really quickly. Give me a second. Alright. What's up? Oh yeah, I don't know the name. I don't know the name. How? My bad. Fine. I'll take that on me. Fine, whatever. Persona 5, Persona mentioned, Pika. Okay. Yep, pinned remount. Daniel, how's it going, man? How you doing? Thanks for being a member. I know you just joined yesterday or 2 days ago. But either way, appreciate it. How you doing, buddy? God, Persona music is so fun. I know you guys probably hate me because I keep saying this all the time, but I fucking love Persona 5 music, man. Or I love Persona music, rather, in general. Oh, how's it going, buddy? How you doing? Play Hollow Knight. Manish, if you guys are up for it. Sorry, Manish. I know this because I had a colleague with the same name, and like my instinct is to say it wrong. I apologize. If you guys would be up for it after Lord of the Mysteries, would you guys be okay if we do some gaming streams occasionally too? Like we'll still read. We'll do like ORV. We'll do Perfect Run. We'll do all that stuff. But like, would you guys be up for like if we do like a Hollow Knight stream? If we do Elden Ring DLC, because I still haven't played that, which is fucking crazy to me, but I haven't. Call me Demoness. It's fine. You can do it sometimes. Oh, you're Demoness. Oh no, shit. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Sounds good, man. You said you like non-English songs with English vocals. To Be Hero X. Dude, I have not seen To Be Hero X. Like, I saw like the first 3 or 4 episodes, and I was like, oh, this is so dope. And then I just kind of stopped watching it for one reason or another. To Be Hero X. No, but the vocals are gonna get demonetized. Fuck it, it's fine. Elden Ring stream, you just gained a hardcore. Oh yeah, hell yeah, Daniel. Merlin, how's it going, buddy? Play Lies of P. Oh Manish, fuck. Oh Manish, we're playing that Demoness. Fuck. Sorry. I'm gonna get used to it. Okay. I'm playing it right now. I got kind of hard stuck like 2 days ago on this piece of shit clown. I can't. What's his fucking name? It's this clown. The clown isn't even the hard part. There's like people throwing shit at you on the side, and I just want to fucking lose my mind. Oh my fucking god! This like, oh god. What is happening? Yeah. Like I'm playing it right now because I never played it, and I was like, I fucking hate. Yeah, I told Ramiro. I told you, Mikolash's boss fight is it's so dog shit. Okay, so it's AAIR. Okay. I don't parry. I'm just so bad at them. I just dodge. I just always dodge. R. Air. Spare. Fuck. Wrong. How's it going, man? Oh, yeah, I told you, Mikolash's boss fight is so fucking... He's not even hard. He just keeps running and he spams the same dog shit arm extending to tentacles attack always. It's so fucking annoying. Oh my god. The amygdala boss fight, it's not the boss, that's an, it's my camera. Amygdala, which one is that one? It's been a while since I've played, Bloodborne. Amygdala... Oh, yes. This one is annoying. Yeah, boss. Yeah, because of the camera. Yeah, because it's so big, the camera will warp around. Yeah. After the parade clown, it would be good for you if you start parrying the enemies because it starts getting tough if you don't parry. Fuck. All right, fine. I'll get good. My bad. I'll get good. All right. Let me lock in. Okay, I got one chance, one opportunity to save this. Still, nothing compares to my hate for the Shadow of Yharnam. Oh, Shadow of Yharnam. Yes. Those are that is annoying. I want to see you crash out more often, Daniel. We can start out with Elden Ring DLC. And then we'll Autumn, how's it going, buddy? And then we can do Hollow Knight, and then we can eventually do Silk Song as well. But I mean, again, we'll spice those in with like with regular streams. So like we can do like, I don't know, gaming Wednesdays or something. I don't fucking know, whatever, right? Like we can have like 1 or 2 days a week where like, hey, we'll just do a gaming stream, and then we can also do like, hey, can you read your college exam? It'd be fun to see. Fuck that. If you guys ever want, we can do like the whatever, are you smarter than a 6th grader or whatever the bullshit is called? And then a 5th grader, whatever. Shows, but questions, but I wouldn't like to find the answer out on that one. Ren, how's it going, buddy? Long time no see. Bug, how's it going? So, if you lose, no need, you'd lose. Fuck you. You are a bitch. Stream Mage Arena for us? I would love to stream Mage Arena. That game is so fun. Rah, how's it going, buddy? Man, Demoness might get us cancelled. No worries, Bug. I appreciate you popping by, buddy. Hope you have a good rest of your day. I'll catch you tomorrow or whenever. Or maybe if we play Minecraft at night. I don't know. Do you wanna get... did I just start... You just start... What? Did it... Like the stream? Raw? Yeah, the stream just started, but... do you want to get Isekai to Lord of the Mysteries, but on Great Smog of Backland? Yeah, I just tank the smog, you know? My 21st century lungs could take it, you know, for real. Not me, Romero. Might get you cancelled. That is a constant threat we battle. We constantly battle against monsters and madness or whatever the fuck this thing was. Threats and madness or whatever. Here. Wait, A? First time these chapters. Conic, thanks for popping by, buddy. I appreciate you being here. We're gonna get started in just 2 minutes. I'm trying to figure out this piece of shit fucking Wordle, and I can't do it. Fuck you. Fuck you, Demoness. You fucked it up. I was gonna get chairs, totally. God damn, I was not gonna get it. It's fine. Okay, let's just do connections really quickly, and then we'll get started. Okay, 2 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Whopper, Snicker. I'm clearly hungry. If I ever get Isekai to Lord, I'd immediately pray to Evernight or Klein to spawn for protection. Ain't no what, dude. Actually, nah, Daniel, you gotta tank the corruption. And then when, you know, the Mother Tree of Desire or Lilith or whoever tries to, you know, corrupt you, you take, you actually steal their powers when they build that connection with you, and then you immediately become a great old one. That's the strat. Okay, you gotta tank the corruption, steal their power. How do you do all that? I don't know. I'd figure it out in the moment. Okay, I'm goated like that. Oh god. Want to see you do that in Lord of the Mysteries D&D? Fuck yeah. Oh my god, Romero. Oh my god. Yeah, can you imagine? We start, like we start D&D. I immediately go up to my party and go, hey guys, did you guys know of the great old ones or the ones above the sequences? And everyone in the party just insta dies, and I'm like, this is my reward. This is my sacrifice to you, my queen. And then I just keep walking. A true hunter. Okay, I'm clearly not gonna get any of these today. Let's just get started. Fuck it. Among, how's it going, man? The max level you can reach is sequence 3. Yes, I'm aware. So no angel level bullshit, which is good. No, of course I don't know. What's the coolest honorific name? I like the, how do you... I feel like, the one for, like, the degenerated nature of all living beings or whatever for the true creator is kind of based. And Romero just came everywhere, but all the same. Hi, Dr. Z. How's it going? Kami, how's it going? Dom, yeah, like the one for the Lord of Mysteries is hard as fuck though. Yeah, we're reading the web. Yeah, we're reading the web novel. Yep. That is not centered at all. That's not. Varshan, how's it going, man? How you doing? Okay. On a steam locomotive heading for Midsea Shire's Constant City, Klein, who was dressed as a wandering magician, looked at the young man and his parents across from the narrow table with items placed on it. I have 2 types of magic tricks. The first is to let your wishes come true. The second is to use a mirror to answer your questions. Of course, the first type of magic requires payment, and the second requires you to answer the questions posed by the mirror. What kind of performance would you wish? The young man had black hair and brown eyes. He seemed to have received a good education. He looked at his parents sitting beside him with a smile as he said, "My wish is too complicated, so I won't trouble you. In comparison, I am curious about what the mirror can answer." Klein sighed as he shook his head. With a flip of his hand, he revealed a silver mirror with a black gem on both sides. "It seems to be an antique," the young man said. "My question is, what is the purpose of my visit to Constant City?" A commonly seen smile, one which was often seen on the faces of street magicians, appeared on Klein's face, as he stroked the surface of the mirror with his right hand and said, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, please tell me the answer to this question." I added the on the wall part, but it just seemed fitting, okay? Shut up. After repeating it 3 times, he released his right hand and showed the surface of the mirror to the 3 passengers. There were a few silver lines on it. To get married. Amazing! The young man and his parents looked at each other. After boarding the train, they had never mentioned anything related to the wedding, nor did they reveal anything to anyone on the way. This was the first time they had seen a magic trick that didn't rely on props or a fake audience. No, Dominic, I don't have the name yet. I have, like... Yeah, no, I don't have the name. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the most goated of them all? True. Alright, good night, Daniel. Appreciate you popping by, buddy. Have a good night. Alright, it's time for the mirror to ask. Klein smiled as he covered the surface of the mirror with his right hand. Alright, the young man replied. Next, what question will the mirror raise? Klein raised his right hand as if he was performing a magic trick. The silver words on the mirror immediately changed. You would prefer your bride to be a woman in her 40s or above, right? The man's expression froze before turning pale. Erinus went, "You like MILFs, right?" Oh, God. "How is that possible?" he immediately rebutted. He couldn't help but turn to look at his parents and said, "What kind of strange question?" It's just kidding," Klein smiled apologetically as he raised his right hand onto the surface of the mirror. He then raised his right hand. Indeed, the questions on the mirror changed again. "How old are you?" 25, the young man replied, afraid that he would fall into a trap. Autumn, you're confusing me with Devil. Oh, that's so funny. Oh my god. Alright, that's the end of the magic performance, Klein smiled. You can try another magic trick. Amnesiac, how's it going, buddy? Oh, Amnesiac, I'm well aware. He's not even here. Mm. He's gonna cook the fuck out of me. Just as he finished speaking, the steam locomotive whistled, a sign that it was about to enter a station. Sorry, that's my call. Klein took out his pocket watch and checked the time. He carried his luggage and left the locomotive with a group of passengers. He arrived at Mid-Seashire's Beltain city, a city that had both prospered and declined due to local coal mines. To Klein, the greatest significance of this place was that it was a strategic node in the previous World War. Faceac had taken 3 routes in its invasion. The first through the border along the Amantha mountain range to break through the land defenses. Another involved the Sonia Island, attacking the coastal harbors and attempting a landing. The third was to follow the main railway as they marched towards Backland for an invasion. Yeah, your god marched all the way to Backland to get fucking slaughtered. Get fucked, losers. Among them, due to the existence of the Church of Storm and combined might of the ironclad warships and high-level arbiters, the naval forces of Faceac and Phaenopotter failed to gain the results they wanted. They even failed to obtain naval superiority. And on the battlefields on the Amantha mountain range, the headquarters of the Church of Evernight blocked one wave after another. It didn't fall throughout the war, preventing the Winter County and Eastchester County from going through the fiery crucible of war. So if Audrey's parents just went to their house in like Eastchester County, they would have been chilling? Was like a huge god of Ramiro, not true, okay? All that happened was I said that title was cool, and I said their emblem was kind of cool. That's all that happened. Don't fucking lie don't lie. No, Dr. Z, you're lying. I remember those conversations. No, don't. I'm not lying. You're lying. Oh, I'm actually getting fucking rage baited. It's fine. It's fine. No, you guys are fucking liars, bro. Oh my god. Nightwalker, bro, he's just lying outright. Thank you, Pushkar. God. On the 3 routes, the only successful one was Mid-Seashire's troops. They did a joint naval land operation and conquered Lone's second biggest city, Constant City, the capital of Mid-Seashire. They made their way southeast, rendezvousing with the Intis troops. Klein acted as a wandering magician. On one hand, he had to accumulate wishes, display miracles, digest the potion, and increase his strength. Yes, Dr. Z, I agree. I said the god they worship sounds cool. That is not I was a huge believer of him, or like I was a huge fan. I said that god sounds cool. I'm actually being rage baited. This is crazy. Dr. Z's on that arc again, and you gotta learn to ignore her for like 2 or 3 days. She'll be back to normal soon. It's fine. After knowing the secrets of the cosmos and the underground, he could understand the goddess's plan and accept it to a certain degree, but this didn't mean that he was indifferent to the sacrifices. Hi, Lee. No worries, man. Fuck, I gotta watch those, man. Alright, you know what? Today, sometime today, I don't know when, it might be at night or something, I'm just gonna go watch all of them. I'll just do it in like I'll just do it in the Discord. So if anyone wants to come watch with me, feel free. But I think I have to watch like 3 episodes all at once. It's crazy. At the same time, he confirmed one thing: even if he didn't stop George III from becoming Black Emperor, the World War would have still erupted. However, Lone would have had the upper hand. The goddess and her allies would face the god of combat head-on, forcing him to seek help from the Earth Mother. When that happened, the number of battle between the gods and the intensity would far surpass what actually happened. Due to this reason, Klein followed Faceac's invasion path and wandered forward. After leaving the station that still had traces of gunpowder, he carried the worn suitcase with a set of clothes and made his way towards the area where the hotels were located. At night, he would stroll along the streets and alleys of the city and perform wishes for everyone. After taking a few steps forward, Klein's spiritual perception was triggered as he cast his gaze to the end of the street. It was a black-haired woman wearing a simple robe and a tree bark belt. Ariana, the grounded angel. Ariana is of the sleepless pathway, which means Klein and Ariana are now at the same level. Oh, that is so fucking cool. Klein outranks Roselle's daughter right now. He's like, weak shit. I now stand at the pinnacle of all races. What a go. Why would she be here in Beltain? Shouldn't she have returned to the Evernight Cloister at the Cathedral of Serenity? Or be sent to the Faceac capital? Saint Milome to preside over the handing of the God of Combat's estate? It isn't a simple matter. If a grounded angel were to suddenly appear in a small city... I love how Klein says, like, if a grounded angel were to appear in a random city. Bro, you're here. You're a grounded angel. What do you mean? Romero, no. I was making an Escanor reference. Shut up. This wasn't because he was a busybody, but if anything happened while they were in the same city, no one would be able to escape. But at this moment, Ariana already vanished from the crowd. As a servant of concealment, Klein couldn't track her even if he wanted to. Klein took a deep breath and entered the hotel in thought. He got a room and stowed away his luggage. He then maintained his attire as a wandering magician and brought Erdas with him. He walked all the way to the municipal square of Beltain City following his intuition. You do realize that Angel is supposed to be church-specific title? What do you mean, Clownman? Sorry? Erected near the municipal hall was a notice board that had many notices plastered all over. Klein saw that several people surrounded it. There seemed to be a brand new notice, so he approached it. In the middle of the signboard, a slightly yellowed piece of paper covered over the other notices, and it wrote, "Ladies and gentlemen, I am your new consul. Now, I will issue 3 new laws. First, without my permission, no living being can leave this place. Second law, all life is equal in front of the law. Even ordinary people can kill angels. Third law, those who commit the crimes mentioned below will be punished severely, the highest penalty being the death sentence." Is this a sequence 1 of the Arbiter pathway? Who has the... Because you have to be like a grade... you have to be like a sequence 1 to be able to affect angels. Like, there's no way like a saint of the Arbiter pathway can affect angels to this degree. So them coming here and saying like, oh, anyone can kill an angel. What the fuck? This is so stupid. This is actually just straight up, this is what I was saying about becoming a saint. Like, as soon as Klein becomes a saint, everyone is like, everyone's a saint now. It's like everyone is a sequence 4, everyone's a sequence 3. Klein becomes an angel, everyone can just kill angels. Oh, you know that kid with a sharpened stick? If he pokes you with it real hard, dead. Wouldn't believe it? Dead. You steal a piece of chocolate, right to jail. What the fuck is going on here? Those who commit the crimes mentioned below will be severely punished. The highest penalty being the death sentence. 1. Murder. 2. Theft. 3. Chanting the complete honorific name of a deity. 4. Offering sacrifices to evil deities. 5. Fraud. 6. Leaking secrets. Klein's spiritual perception told him that something was wrong with this. He tried to make his spirit body return to Sephra Castle, but an invisible force blocked his departure. Is this a god? Who the fuck can stop Sephra? The connection to Sephra Castle is like above gods. Who the fuck is tanking this? This is like the first rule that like no living being can leave this place, but From his point of view, an abnormality of this level had reached a near deity level. He had been in situations of not being able to return to Sephira Castle, but the reason was that he didn't have time, or that he was obstructed. There was only one instance where he failed to enter the real world, the foggy town created by the goddess. Apart from that, even Amon couldn't do such a thing. Of course, at that moment, Amon's main goal was to force Klein to stir Sephira Castle before he seized the opportunity to use a loophole to replace him as the ruler. Who the hell is the new consul of this city? Is that the reason Ma'am Ariana came here? Klein then took out Eridas and asked what happened. Eridas shook before saying, "A few rules have been replaced. As for who did it, there is no way of knowing. Great servant, great master, you can try finding the servant of concealment, Ariana, to learn the truth from her." Rules have been replaced? Lawyer? Arbiter? Bug? He realized that citizens of the square were puzzled, perplexed as to why the notice would mention angels. And why did they not have the permission to leave? The war had already ended. Oh, boys, if I have to... Oh my god, I have to read 9 more chapters? Fuck, I made a mistake. I'm sorry, we're ending on 86. Fuck that. Oh my god. Oh god, I'm gonna be here all day. Oh, man. Okay. Inside a bar in Beltain City, Roy, Bills, Phil, and Tasha sat around a small table guzzling beer. Who decided that they... Fuck, I'm sorry. They didn't talk much as they listened to the drunkards. Before this, hick, I saw that not only do physicians look like bears, but they can also control powers like fire, throwing them out like javelins. No way, dude! Superpowers are like... real? Yeah, that's because you don't know anything, you idiot. I got drunk one day and slept near the cemetery. I saw some people from the Evernight Church show up with ghosts. Ghosts! They floated in the air. It was terrifying. I was shitting my pants. It was unknown if the drunkards were sharing stories from personal experience or hearsay, but the way they described it was with so much agitation that saliva kept flying across their faces. And that's what they're like. They get more excited after drinking. They always like to brag and be dramatic, even if they're depressed. Biles was a Beltain local. Upon seeing this, he explained, "Ever since the coal mines ran dry, young people have just left the city for Backlund. The atmosphere has become so depressive. The city is just declining day by day." The man, who was less than 30 years old, had been a miner since he was young. Yes, that is how miners work. It's miners in terms of someone who mines, but funny all the same. He was lucky to survive the mines. His skin was tanned from all the labor. His exposed muscles weren't too exaggerated, but it gave people the feeling that they were made of steel. As the leader of the group, Roy smiled. What they're saying could be the truth, but they're not bragging, okay? The previous war showed a lot of superpowers to a lot of people, especially regular soldiers. If they're alive, they're gonna have to remember that forever. Besides, you know what, Amnesiac, you're right. I need to get into character. Let me go get a beer. Hold on. Where am I? Besides, this also brings a lot of things for them in the future, so that even if you had zero chance of encountering powers before, you can now maybe become a Beyonder. James, how's it going, man? Thank you. I have a lot of experience in this regard. Thank you. The way he expressed himself was very subtle, as though he was talking about others, but in reality, this was what they had experienced. Biles and Roy had participated in the defense of Beltain City. Phil had once been ransacked by the physicians, but he was lucky to have not died. Pasha and her former citizens had seduced and ambushed a few Intis soldiers in the harbor battle. They had witnessed the deaths of many of their friends and gained supernatural powers due to various reasons. After that, due to the chaos brought about by the war, they either lost contact with their unit or avoided it of their own accord. Slowly, they got to know each other and became friends bit by bit. This time, they had come to Biles's hometown in Beltain to seek out any friends and family who may have survived. The reality of this war is beyond what we could have imagined, Pasha said. She was only in her 20s, and she was quite good looking, but her face was a little thin, accentuating the protrusions of her cheekbones. This made her look so much older than her actual age. In the future, our lives are gonna be very different, Roy said. To a brand new future, Roy said. Before he could finish speaking, someone in the bar suddenly screamed. Roy and company raised their vigilance and cast their gazes over. They saw a young man in ordinary clothes lying on the ground, rolling back and forth as though in deep pain. Under the dim yellow wall lamps, everyone realized that the clothes on the young man's back had been torn open, revealing blood-red streaks, as if he was being whipped. But no one held a whip around him. Only the victim had let out one scream. It was only possible if he had been whipped countless times in an instant. But if that were the case, how could no one notice it? He's holding a wallet. Could this have something to do with what happened? Phil said. Let me go take a look. Roy thought around and nodded. Be careful. Phil grunted and walked over from the small round table. With the help of the crowd, he approached the young man who was now whimpering instead of rolling about. He extended his hand. His target was seemingly an ordinary leather wallet. Ah! Phil screamed as soon as he touched the wallet. Blood spattered from the stump onto the faces and bodies of the people around as he watched his left wrist snap and land on the ground. The scene instantly froze. Everyone was stunned, but then turned around and ran to the door. Something's wrong. No one attacked me. Phil nearly fainted from the pain, but he still forced himself to tell everyone what he just saw. Roy narrowed his eyes. Let's get out of here first. He then turned his head and said to Biles, pick up Phil's hand and preserve it. I remember that a military doctor I met from Beltain. He's also from Beltain. He got discharged. He came here. He could fix this. This military doctor was named Weber, was also a Beyonder. He had participated in the war in the South and had advanced step by step, obtaining medical skills that surpassed reality. He could sew up a severed limb and restore it to its former flexible state. Devil, how's it going, buddy? He took a few steps forward and took out a wooden box and placed Phil's severed hand in it. At the same time, Pasha used a mystical ointment she had previously bought to stop Phil's bleeding. Soon after, the group left the bar. After many inquiries, they found Weber's clinic. The clinic hadn't closed for the day and the lights were still on. Roy politely pulled the doorbell over and over as he heard it echo inside, but no one came to open the door. He's drunk? Pasha looked at Phil and made a guess. I remember that Weber doesn't drink. He's other than him being a little amorous, he's a good man. As he spoke, the middle-sized man with a face full of weathered pock marks pushed open the door and realized it wasn't locked, it was ajar. I don't know if you guys like the drunk impressions, but I'm loving it, okay? I don't know. I'm just having fun. Two figures were hanging in the middle of the clinic. Due to the wind blowing from the outside, they swayed gently. A man in his 30s wearing a white coat, and the other was a young woman in a nurse's uniform. Their lower bodies were naked and their eyes were protruding, their mouths half open and their tongues squeezed out. They were hung from the ceiling by an invisible rope. Weber, Roy recognized the young man. Everyone felt a chill run down their spine. They didn't know what was going on. Boom! The sound of a chair being knocked over from the side jolted the dazed Roy and company. Luvian isn't here, is he? Fuck, don't tell me he's here. No, I don't think he is. We're okay. They looked in the direction of the voice and saw a lady carrying a baby, standing up in a fluster. She whispered they were having an affair. But an affair isn't a... Oh, was adultery one of the fucking, laws that were broken? What the hell does this have to do with anything? Roy took a deep breath and said, "Let's go." He didn't ask Pasha to comfort the lady, nor did he attempt to obtain the clinic's disinfectant and bandages. Everyone swallowed their saliva and turned around and left the clinic. To Phil and company, they all suppressed the pain. To Phil, the horror of the unknown had suppressed the pain in his left hand. "What the hell just happened?" Phil asked. "How would I know?" Biles blurted out. Roy looked around and said, Calm down. This should be a terrifying beyonder matter that's beyond us. This is all too strange. There can only be one reason," Pasha nodded. "Then what do we do?" Phil asked. Roy thought for a moment and said, "Let's try to leave Beltain. Okay. Let's analyze what happened before and summarize the patterns hidden within. We can't be sure of the anomalies we might encounter later. We can only ensure our safety after knowing the rules." "Right," Biles said. The wallet! The young man probably stole a wallet, so he got whipped. When Roy tried to take it, or Roy? Phil? Whoever. Tried to take it from him to touch it, he also got smacked because he was trying to steal it too. I think I see what's going on. Okay, they discussed as they walked, gradually having some ideas. Weber was hung for adultery. Before Phil's hand was cut off, he tried to take the wallet. "That's a form of theft," Pasha summarized. Roy had an idea. Could it be that they suffered such a thing because they tried to do something illegal? "How the hell is that possible?" everyone replied. As they said that, they had a guess. Maybe there's a new law enforcer. The essence of a beyonder. Maybe, Roy said. "Let's take note." Pasha and the others nodded as they walked to the streets carefully. Not long after, they arrived at the municipal square and saw a notice. Notice? Everyone looked at it and approached the light from the street lamps to look at the notice. A piece of white paper stuck in the middle. As they scanned through the notices, they quickly had their eyes filled with horror as they seemed to understand the source of the matter. After reading the paper, their eyes landed on the yellow paper. All citizens are to arrest foreigners using all means possible. Arrest foreigners? Everyone felt their heart tighten. As if sensing the gaze of the citizens around them, the citizens turned around and cast their gaze at them. Under the dim light, their eyes seemed to glitter with a strange light. What do you think is happening? And I'm gonna guess a sequence 1 Angel of the Arbiter pathway is here, and he's like the new ruler or whatever of this pathway, or a ruler of this area, and he's a fucking sociopath. I don't know. Sorry. By the way, I'm thinking of growing my hair out. I normally like to keep my hair very short. Not very short, but like significantly shorter than this. But normally, I figured like, hey, let me try growing my hair out. What's the worst that happens? Now that I'm working from home, it kind of doesn't matter as much because I'm not client facing, so it's kind of like, eh. So I'm like, fuck it, let me see how it looks. If I don't like it, I can always cut it off. My only concern is my hair is really thick, so it's probably going to be like fucking so it's going to be really annoying. But, if I don't like it, I can always... work from home option? Yeah, Dr. Z, that's the one yeah. How can someone tell at a glance if a person is a foreigner? How the hell do you know that? Roy asked. He had used the hidden meaning of these words to console Phil and Pasha that they didn't need to panic. After all, other than Biles, who was a native, the remaining three were also citizens of Lone. Digestion, maybe. Sequence 1 is named Hand of Order. Maybe. That's a name I already know, so it's okay. I still don't know the sequence 0 of the Arbiter pathway. That's annoying. Could it be Judgment? That would be cool. He used the hidden... no. But this is supernatural, Pasha stammered. Nothing could be thought of using common sense. Roy's heart froze as he looked at the citizens who were approaching. As he shouted, "Run!" As he finished speaking, he turned around and ran towards the nearest street entrance, Pasha and Phil following closely behind. A few citizens raised their hunting rifles and shot. Roy, Phil, Pasha were all Beyonders who were good at fighting, so while running they could occasionally change directions or roll to dodge the fire. After following that, under Pasha's guidance, they passed through the streets and escaped the pursuers before hiding in a corner. But what do we do? Phil asked. From the contents of the notice, we can't leave the city. We need to find out the rules and find a way around them, Roy said. Have you ever seen such a notice before? Pasha said. Yeah. Although I rarely had the chance to go to municipal squares, I've been assembled there back when I was recruited into the army. I've seen that notice board. There shouldn't be any problems with the notice board. Perhaps there's 2 pieces of paper that are key. The laws written on them contain mystic intent, Pasha said. Roy immediately expressed his agreement. Yeah. Besides, I suspect that the laws have to be made public before they're put into effect. If we can find an opportunity to rip off the piece of paper, the restrictions might disappear. Yeah, but if you try to rip it off, it's going to be some, like, theft or something, and then you just get immediately whipped. After a second, Phil's facial muscles twitched as he said, let's give it a try. If we continue to be trapped in the city, even if we aren't caught, we might as well... Oh god, we will be punished for something. Although they were all Beyonders, they weren't, their sequences weren't high. It wasn't a problem dealing with a few ordinary people, but the enmity of an entire city was dangerous. Roy, Biles, and Pasha were more or less people who had seen the battlefield before. They knew that hesitation was the worst thing to have. Under the guidance of the rather experienced hunter, Pasha, the group of 4 made a detour before returning to the square from another street. Zaza would love this power. Okay, Ramiro. Okay, alright. Alright. Don't make fun of him when he's not here to defend himself. At this moment, the residents who were surrounding the notice were no longer present. It was as if they were searching the entire city for foreigners. When they approached the notice board that stood silently, they approached it carefully. After approaching the target, Roy suddenly thought, is destroying the notice considered an illegal act? In theory, Pasha said. They then cast their gaze at the notice board and scanned through the list of crimes stipulated by the 3rd law. 8. Destroying public property. It exists. Fuck, Biles blurted out. Fool, how's it going, man? Clown, whose face had turned pale due to the blood loss, turned paler and said, "What kind of punishment does destroying public property entail? It wasn't a very serious crime, so the punishment should be lenient." If that was the case, Phil decided to take the risk. I love how Phil, who has an arm cut off and is turning pale from blood loss, is the first guy to say, like, I'll take the chance. Everyone else is like, not me. Like, bro, come on, you're gonna let the guy without a hand do it? Come on, y'all are so mean. If that was the case, Phil decided to take the risk. First-timers get whipped, Pasha and Biles said. Pasha and Biles were pondering over the answer as a voice sounded behind them. Everyone turned around in shock and saw a young man in black robe and tall hat. He looked ordinary. A repeated offense is to have one's hand lopped off. I don't know what happens after that. How do you know that? Roy asked. I've tried. It's useless. The notice gets restored quite quickly. So you've been whipped? Pasha asked. Yes. But I also committed fraud, and I was later punished with having my arm lopped off. Fraud? Biles asked. So you're telling me Klein becomes an angel, and he's like, alright, let's go get whipped, let's have our arms cut off, because like, it's all good, I can just recover. Like, bro, this guy's a fucking Looney Tunes. Fraud? Biles asked. The young man chuckled. To put it simply, I didn't personally destroy the notice. I got a dummy to do it. The one who was whipped was also the dummy. Oh. Nice. As he spoke, he raised his right arm. Like Phil, his wrist was cut neatly. His stump was ghastly white and red, as he was still bleeding. Seer, how's it going, man? Better than Gear 5 Luffy? I don't know if I'd go that far, Lesnio, but yeah, it's getting up there, man. We're getting some Looney Tunes shit. Suddenly, the stump's flesh squirmed and twisted as worms crawled out, interweaving to form a new hand. During this process, everyone didn't feel any fear, because the moment they saw those worms, which had details they couldn't discern, their thoughts were thrown in a mess. After the palm was covered with skin and became normal, the Beyonders recovered, as they stepped back in shock. They really tried to punish the... I know, like... They have the fraudsters that fraudsters look up to in a city, and they're like, don't commit fraud. Like, bro, who are you talking to right now? What do you think is gonna happen? The only one on the planet who might fraud more than Klein might be Zaratul, because he's been alive for longer. He's just had longer to put up those numbers. Okay, Zaratul is on some like LeBron streak. Like even if his peak isn't as high as MJ's, he's just had such consistency over so long. Amon was born a fucking sequence 1. Okay, that doesn't count, the little fucker. That hardly counts. Fraud by definition is like fraud by definition is like what am I trying to say? Like, the fact that Klein is weak and he's dealing with being so much stronger than him makes his fraud so much cooler. Amon was like born a fucking angel. Like, it's not super cool. Like, it's not super cool then, you know? Because you were like, you're super strong. That hardly counts. Like, Klein doing this shenaniganery now to like saints or like mid-sequencers wouldn't be cool. Because it'd be like, why are you fucking picking on children? What is wrong with you? Right? But like, Klein is fighting Kings of Angels now. When he was a saint, he was fighting angels. When he was a mid sequencer, he was fighting high sequencers. Like, it makes sense. Why is Sua a fraud? That guy's he's been doing fine. I mean, so would Azek be a fraud? No, why would Azek be a fraud? Mr. Azek hardly counts. Mr. Azek is just goated. The scene behind they had just seen exceeded their understanding. Please search for the definition of fraud. Jen, I know. I'm going by my own definition. Okay, shut up, God. Fraud, a prohibited act of deceit. That a prohibited act of deceit hardly counts for like Amon, because like he makes the rules, or like he breaks the rules. Like that hardly even counts. By the way, I forgot to introduce myself. I am a wandering magician, Klein said. He swept a gaze at the 4 Beyonders in front of him and said, "My best magic trick is to grant someone their wishes. Would you like a wish to be granted?" Roy's spirits rose as he said, Can you take us away from Beltain? Of course, I'll try my best to do this, but not now. He then looked at handless Phil. He just said to his wish, "What's yours?" Let my hand recover? Phil probed. Okay, take out his hand. Klein cast his gaze at Biles. After hesitating, Biles took out the wooden box as per the man's instructions and returned the hand to Phil. "Come here," Klein said with a smile. Phil mustered his courage and walked over to the strange man. "Remove your bandages," Klein said. "Place your severed hand in its original spot. Let me remind you, you don't have it reversed. Otherwise, you'll have to chop it off and repeat the process again." Oh, he's saying like, bro, if you put it wrong, I'm not even gonna tell you, okay? Just you make sure. I'm giving you the warning. That is my generosity. Like, if you put it on backwards, I'm gonna have to lop it off again, okay? You don't want me to do that. Seeing how confident the other party was, Phil felt a little more confident. He pulled off the bandages and stuck his hand to the wound. After placing it at the stump, Klein took out a piece of paper and approached. He then reached out to wipe the wound. Silently, the piece of paper split into 2 while Phil felt the pain disappear. He quickly looked down and saw his left wrist was perfectly intact. He couldn't even tell that it had been hurt before. Phil subconsciously moved his fingers, realizing that he didn't lose any motor controls. "Your wish has been granted," Klein smiled. "Thank you," Phil replied. Klein looked at the other 2 Beyonders. "What is your wish?" Upon seeing that Phil's wish truly had been granted, Biles smiled and said, "I wish to know where my family is." Klein lowered his head and took out a silver mirror. "What is the answer to that question?" he smiled. The surface of the mirror shimmered and said, "Beltain Glorin Cemetery." Aw, Sag. Unhinged, how's it going, man? Weren't you just here? What the fuck? Am I making this up? Upon seeing this, Biles, who had his neck craned, felt his heart sink, as he couldn't help but feel a sense of sorrow and despair. In the next second, new silver words appeared. Gravekeeper's hut. Oh, what a piece of shit, dude! What a piece of shit! This meant Biles' sorrow turned to happiness as he said, "Thank you." Oh my god, Eridus is such a piece of shit. As he finished speaking, he thought of 2 questions. How many people could live in the graveyard? How many gravekeepers could there be? His family members definitely numbered more than 2 or 3. Biles' expression oscillated between gloom and joy as he felt silent. As a result, he didn't see the question posed by the silver mirror. "Great master, did I answer the question kindly enough?" "Yes," Klein nodded. "No, not at all. What do you mean? What do you mean, yes? Just tell him to give him the whole answer." Pasha thought for 2 seconds and said, "My wish is for you to protect us until we leave Beltain alive." Smart. Your wish is granted. Oh shit. Dude, can you imagine these Beyonders are like these? I'm gonna assume are probably low sequence Beyonders, maybe mid sequence, or probably low sequence for Beyonders. Are like running into this random fucking guy, and they're like, "Oh, this guy's a fucking Looney Tunes," and they're like, "Dude, this guy's the answer to all of our questions." Soldier, wandering magician's got it. He then asked, "What price do we have to pay?" "I'm referring to the payment for your magic." "Your wishes are the price. If you know certain things that are fake, but you are willing to subjectively use them, it shouldn't be considered fraud, right?" "No," everyone said. "This is a game between 2 parties. A voluntary action that has a clear understanding of the actions is not a scam. There's no doubt about it." After hearing their answers, Klein smiled. Good. That is what the average person would think. As he spoke, he grabbed a few times with his right hand, dragging out a woman in simple black robes and long hair. A projection of the Evernight Cloister matron, Ariana. It was good. Someone is dead, but there's also survivors. Now he's not lied to, but he still has hope. It was a kind answer. I feel like the kind answer would be to say the hut, and then when he gets to the hut and meets his family, the family can be like, hey, like, the two of us made it, they didn't make it or whatever. Like, I feel like that's way kinder. But, I mean, I don't know. Tinab, how's it going, buddy? He then looked at Ariana, smiled, and said, Madam, what happened? The chief shepherd of the Church of God of Combat, Larian, escaped. I'm tracking him. After I came to Beltain, I received new information. Larian took away an artifact when he escaped. 002. The second strongest one? Oh, we're so cooked. But, hey, I defeated the Quill as a sequence 5. So, you know what? What's a sequence 0 when I'm a fucking angel? What's the number 2 artifact when I'm a fucking angel? Bring it, bro. No problem. Stronger than Genie? Nah, I'd win. Okay. Klein inwardly repeated the serial number, feeling the problem might be more than he expected. Although it couldn't be said that 002 was definitely more terrifying than 005, since the true essence of the magic wishing lamp was that of an outer deity, an entity far stronger than present deities. He could definitely destroy the world or even the solar system if not for the restrictions of the seal. However, the smaller the number meant that it was more dangerous. At the end of the 4th epoch, the churches had serialized the batches of Grade 0 artifacts to 2 digits. Being only second is 001, how terrifying is 002? But the God of Combat didn't use this artifact in the battle. Was it not suitable for direct combat? What do you know of 002, ma'am? Klein asked. When the various churches inform each other of Grade 0 artifacts, they only mention numbers. Right, Grade 0 artifacts are strictly confidential. As part of the brass, they have to remain in charge of particular Grade 0 artifacts before they come into contact with the related information, or there's a high chance that the memories will be erased after everything is over anyway. Just knowing about a Grade 0 artifact can result in danger. Didn't the church already have the Church of God of... didn't the church already take over the Church of God of Combat? Ariana looked that way. They could have obtained all the files on 002. Ariana looked around and said Larian destroyed all the files regarding that artifact. How fucking annoying. Did the goddess have any comments about 002? From his point of view, the goddess and the god of combat were existences with the same period, and she was in control of the concealment authority. She likely had a deep understanding of the situation. In addition, it was impossible for artifacts at the level of 002 to leave no traces in history. Ariana seemed to recall the situation and stated, in the past revelation, the goddess called 002 the Book of Rules. Oh, that page is probably like a page from the book. Oh, like whatever you write on this book becomes... Oh, I see. Okay. Okay, whatever. So I was kind of right. It is a grade... It is... Okay. 002 is almost certainly from like sequence 1. Maybe a god, but unlikely to be god. Almost certainly grade 1. But how is that possible? No, it has to be grade 2 then, no? Because a book of rules, in my mind, has to be of the Arbiter pathway. No, it could be grade 1, yeah, I guess. In his past life, Klein was a gaming enthusiast who used a broad genre of games despite not being too obsessed, so he wasn't unfamiliar with that term. At this moment, Ariana added, the fact that you happen to be in Beltain City might reveal some of the characteristics of 002. Oh. So she's saying 002 might be from from the neighboring pathways because of convergence. I see. Okay. It's quite normal for Ma'am Ariana to encounter such anomalies while tracking the chief shepherd Larian, but for me to be here, this is too much of a coincidence. Excessive coincidences and mysticism mean something is wrong. Someone is setting me up. Or is convergence at play? Based on the situation, setup doesn't seem likely. I can more or less sense anything abnormal through the Sephira Castle. If it's convergence, eliminating Mr. Dor and the indigenous family ancestor, the only ones who can influence me are Zaratul and Amon. Bro, can you imagine being at this level now where you can say like, oh, on the entire planet, there are only 2 people that are capable of influencing me. The King of Angels and Zaratul. However, I've been deliberately avoiding Zaratul, and Amon's true body should be under the true creator's pursuit. If it's just an avatar, there's no way it could produce such a convergence. But another possibility? Convergence between the Sephiroth and 002? If that's the case, even if 002 isn't a Sephira, it's definitely related to one. Klein, who had already suspected something, thought of something. He had a vague idea of 002. So 002 is related to the Sephira Castle. But then I don't even know what that means, because like the only ones related to Sephira Castle should be of these 3 same pathways. Is it a high sequencer of like the... No, because there's no high sequencer of the Marauder path, or of the error pathway, because Amon has all 3 of those characteristics. There's no grade 1 of the Fool pathway because they're all accounted for. There's no grade... Wait, I guess it could be from the apprentice pathway. Okay, maybe. Different Sephiroths also converge together? Oh, you're saying 002 is related to a different Sephira, but the fact that it's related to a Sephira at all is making converge to a different Sephira. I see, okay. From the developments of the situation, the rules are gradually becoming stricter. The piece of paper is evidence. Does that mean 002 is coming to life, or the degree of its reawakening is deepening? Yes, we have to find it before something happens and try to seal it, Ariana said. That's why it's best if we split up and expand the search radius. Ma'am, you've told me so much. Isn't this considered leaking secrets? No. Leaking secrets refer to informing the outside world of the anomaly in Beltain via any way. This has cut off any physical communication between us and the outside world. There's no need to worry about our usual conversations. The Nighthawks and Punishers will abide by the rules on the notice? Yes, Ariana said, before fading away. After watching the matron leave, Klein quickly sorted out the information he had just obtained. Combat wasn't the main point. The crux of the problem was whether he could find 002 quickly enough to find it. During this process, what would they face as foreigners would be more and more complicated. With this in mind, Klein cast his gaze to Roy and company and said, "What are your thoughts on what you just heard?" We don't really know what a Grade 0 artifact is, but we can guess that it's a terrifying item. It can set rules and even change reality to a degree. Also, the chief shepherd of the Church of God of Combat should be a very powerful Beyonder. That's about it, Klein said. If we don't work hard and hope to avoid danger by hiding, then there will be more and more things to take note of. If we aren't careful and we commit a crime, in the end we will be executed on the spot. This left everyone in a panic. It was indeed funny to hear the possible developments, but on the other hand, they could sense the horror within. No, Romero, I know that. No, I know that. I was just thinking about which pathways it could belong to, because in my mind, it should be a sequence 1 of the apprentice pathway. I keep calling it the door pathway because I feel like Mr. Door, the guy who's closest to becoming a god of that pathway, has the fucking title Door of All Doors. But, A few seconds later, Pasha said with a solemn expression, "Furthermore, the citizens can use any means to harm us, but we are unable to fight back, because killing and voluntarily causing harm are very serious. But why does Apprentice make rules?" That's the question. Because my instinct is to say that this is from the Arbiter pathway, instinctively, but then afterwards, it's just like... oh... if it's related to Sephira Castle, my instinct is just those 3, but it's like, if it's a Sephira Castle related to another Sephira, then fuck me, I guess. Door of All Doors is the... I know, right? Like, what does that even imply? I don't know. We can try to deceive their senses, but we can't use it too many times, Klein said. What we need to do is summarize the rules that 002 follows. That way we can find it and seal it quickly. It doesn't seem capable of attacking us directly, Marauder Phil said. Marauder? Bro, kill him right now. Kill him. Kill him right now. We can't take the chance. It can only punish us when we violate the rules. That's right. We can summarize this law for now. 002 cannot punish those who do not commit crimes. Viola, how's it going? Biles blurted it out, but it can make the citizens arrest foreigners. Foreigners aren't considered criminals. That does contradict the previous law, but in history, many cities have come up with laws that include discrimination. Did you decipher any deep secrets from this matter? Everyone frowned, unsure of what the powerful magician was trying to express. Yeah, I can't take the chance of Amon, dude. Just anyone off the Marauder pathway, kill him immediately. Hazel needs to go. Can't take the chance. This fucking guy, Marauder Phil, needs to go. After a brief silence, Pasha said, "The rules issued by 002 must match the public's understanding and acknowledgement and be acknowledged to a certain degree." "Very good idea," Klein said. "I guess, thanks to the law regarding the arrest of foreigners that we can assume, it has been verified by your previous feedback. We can temporarily list it as its second law." Seeing Pasha receive the praise of the powerful magician, Roy hurriedly added, I love how Klein immediately becomes like the person everyone wants praise from. This is what happened to Audrey too. She was like, "Oh my god, Mr. Fool keeps saying like wonderful job to Alger because he keeps answering these questions. I need to figure some shit out." Roy hurriedly added, "It will constantly increase the number of laws, reaching a certain level of complexity, thereby limiting us. No matter what we do, we will be punished. On the basis of arresting foreigners clause, such as the trespassing of private property, the prohibition of defecation or urination in public, will make life harder and harder with the passage of time." I'm sorry, is pissing and shitting in public necessary? Can you just not do that? What the fuck? I nodded. He instinctively raised his hand and looked at the notice board and realized that a parchment had appeared at some point. Curfew order. Everyone noticed the same thing. It was already late at night. They stayed outside for a time, and they would violate the curfew and receive punishment quickly. Let's go, we don't have much time, Klein said. Our target is most likely a book. It might still be with the chief shepherds, or it might have already been hidden somewhere. My intuition tells me that it may be the latter, because to anyone that item is dangerous, and it has become more and more dangerous. The premise is that the chief shepherd hasn't gone insane. By the way, I forgot to tell you that the chief shepherd is a grounded angel. Angel? Everyone froze. Oh, don't worry. Oh, I forgot to mention another thing. I am too. But I'm stronger than him. We're good. But no, my wandering magician would never say that. He would just be like, you know, he's pretty strong. I don't know if I can take him. And then they fight, and he kills him in one punch, and he goes, guess I made a wish come true. Not his though. Get fucked. In the present era, oh my god, that'd be so cool if they're fighting and like Klein's about to lose, and like someone goes like, oh, I wish you beat him, and Klein goes, ah, that's all I needed, brother. And then he gets and then the power of wishes makes that shit come true. In the present era of the world, belief in a deity was common. Trust it was a miracle. The difference was which deity they believed in. Therefore, even if they didn't understand the meaning of angel and mysticism, they had more or less heard of the legends of angels from priests and bishops around them. In the hearts of these four beyonders, angels were at a completely different level. Holy spirits of another world. Under normal circumstances, they lived in the divine kingdom and wouldn't descend. They would be treated as true legends without considering the meaning they had in reality. Just like the battles they had experienced in the past, although they would occasionally encounter beyonders today who struck terror in their hearts, to them, being angels was the last thing on their mind. The two weren't even on the same level. But today, a wandering magician had informed them that the chief shepherd of the Church of God of Combat was an angel who walked the land. Phil and the others believed in the mysterious gentleman who had shown all kinds of amazing feats. They had their wishes granted, and he was friendly. Secondly, they didn't believe they were qualified to be deceived in such a manner. In essence, the difference between an angel or a very strong beyonder was of no difference to them. Do you remember the two children who called Klein Uncle Gehrman in Volume 3 on this ship? Oh yes, Dr. Z, I do. Yeah, the kids that he like ran to save in Bancy Harbor, whatever. Yeah, I do remember. Oh yeah, Uncle Gehrman is terrifying. You remember that the lady whom Miss Magician had invited from thin air mentioned that she was pursuing the chief of the Church of God of Combat, and she seemed qualified. The only person who can track another angel is probably another angel, Miss Magician thought. Roy retracted his gaze from Klein's back and didn't dare look directly at him. He looked left and right, realizing that Phil had come to a similar guess as well. No wonder there is such a change in Beltain, Lyle said. It's not the time to feel poignant about this. Let's hurry up and leave. The curfew is about to take effect, Klein reminded. From 8 at night to 8 in the morning, free movements and assembling in the streets are forbidden. Where should we go? She blurted out. 8 in the morning? Bro, no one's allowed to do a night shift? That's crazy. Under the movement, under the double restriction of the curfew and the no trespassing clause, it seemed as though they could only wait for punishment. Klein smiled and said only movement and assembly are forbidden. Yes, it didn't say we can't pass through the sewers, Klein pointed to the nearby manhole covers. When the curfew were in place previously, the tramps hid in the sewers or abandoned buildings. They went forward, using the advantage of their strength to push open the manhole cover and climb down. In the pitch black, a dim light appeared in Klein's hand. They followed the mystical magician. As Phil thoughtfully said, we can head to a hotel next. Biles is a local. He won't be attacked. He can get us a room. We can climb through the window and enter from the outside. As we got permission from the owner, it wouldn't be considered trespassing. We can then stay until dawn and wait for curfew to end. That's an interesting idea, but our goal isn't to survive, Klein said. Our goal is to die tonight, yeah. Actually, the most interesting thing about that proposal isn't the finding of loopholes to the restriction, but that it reminds me of something. As a local from Beltain, he actually didn't attempt to capture us as foreigners. Everyone looked warily at Biles, showing suspicion. Tonight, Gearman joins the hunt. Yes, Marshawn. Very good. Very good. I don't know, Biles said. Are you still Beltain citizen? Klein asked. Of course. On one hand, you are a citizen of Beltain. On the other, a standard foreigner. Two of your attributes overlap, causing a contradiction. Under that order, you will neither be attacked nor have your rationality affected. If we can create such a contradiction, does it mean we can escape the limits of this place? But such a contradiction is hard to create. I can't even think of one. The most important thing is that we're far from the notice board. We don't know what other laws to follow. We don't have any ways to avoid them. Don't worry, the mirror will help us see the new contents of the notice board. Pasha heaved a sigh of relief and asked, isn't this a crime of peeping? On the surface of the mirror, words that resembled dripping blood appeared. The way I look at the notice board is like looking at the sun in the day. No need to peep. It is visible for all. That's true. Like, how do you peep at something that's in public, right? Why is Klein suspiciously good at finding loopholes now? Bro, he spent so much time with Amon, it just kind of rubbed off on him. He's like, oh, I get it now. Like, in boxing, this is known as the rub. Where, like, when a decent boxer fights, like, a really good boxer and they just get fucking torn apart. But then after that, they come back and they're, like, and the okay-ish boxer is now, like, an amazing boxer. Because they got, like, the rub from the really good boxer. Like, after losing to them, they just saw something and just kind of figure out, like, oh, this is how this works. And then can kind of do it. So it's kind of like that. It's just like Klein spent so much time with Amon, he got the rub from him. He's like, oh, this is how you break rules. I get it now. Very good, very good. So you're saying, Klein, Milos, I'm allowed to know stuff. Why do you assume I'm just an idiot, bro? I know stuff. You're saying Amon rubbed Klein? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. You know how, like, Klein would need to sleep at night, but Amon doesn't really need to sleep because angels don't really need that? Klein retracted his gaze and said, besides, it's just an item. How could it commit a crime? That makes sense. After Roy figured it out, he exhaled. Next, the most important thing is to find the item, but we don't have any clues. As a book, it could just be anywhere. Indeed, we don't know where 002 is. But there's an existence that knows. You mean the chief? Yes. 002 is either in his hand or has been hidden by him, and a book is clearly unable to move on its own. But how do we find the chief? Biles said. Perhaps it was because the magical Mr. Magician was by his side. He wasn't afraid of asking. Klein said as long as 002 doesn't provide the chief shepherd immunity, he too would have to abide by the laws on the notice. He's from Fasak, so he's undoubtedly not a citizen of Beltain. He's unable to enjoy the treatments of the locals. Similarly, although he's an angel and not a foreigner, he isn't human and will be pursued by the citizens. In short, the chief has to abide by the curfew and not trespass private residence. He can't hide in a public area that isn't open to public. And he likely doesn't have companions like Biles who have dual traits. Where would he be? Sewer, cemetery, cathedrals before midnight, abandoned buildings. You can't enter the cemetery at night. Abandoned buildings are owned by someone by virtue of property rights. Yes, sewers are restricted. We will need to head to the cathedral to search for the chief shepherd or wait for him, Klein said. They didn't expect to lock onto an angel so easily. It just took a few words to lock onto an angel's whereabouts. However, there are quite a few cathedrals in Beltain. We have to act in concert to save time. Also, the chief shepherd might be able to forcibly resist the punishment by relying on his level as an angel and powers. After giving his instructions to the mirror, Klein told Erdas to monitor the city and pay attention to any anomalies. After giving those instructions, Klein once again dragged Ma'am Ariana out of the fog of history and asked her to be in charge of the cathedrals of the Evernight. After doing so, he turned around and said to Roy, Pasha, and company, "If we still can't find the chief shepherd after all that is done, it means that he has either left Beltain, leaving 002 behind to attack the enemy, or has gained control of it to a certain extent." Roy and company nodded in unison as they followed Klein. After a few minutes, the mirror reflected a scene. On the signboard, there was another piece of paper. Because of municipal maintenance works, no living being is allowed to enter the sewers from now on. Well, it said no living being is allowed to enter the sewers from now on. So if you're already in there, you're okay. Am I making it up? Probably. Immediately following that, he gestured for Pasha and others to hold hands. He grabbed one of them by the shoulder and led them out of the sewers to teleport to the nearest Storm Cathedral. During this process, the Beyonders first saw the rats and sewers in this, twitching as they died one after another. Following that, they were attracted by the strange and abstract spirit world, as though they had suffered some kind of catharsis at a mental level. Romero, I'm not even being slick. That's literally just true. No living beings may enter. Well, I'm not entering. I'm fucking in here. Like, okay, if I said, like, no living being is to enter my room anymore. Well, I'm already in here. I'm not entering the room. By, like, definition. I'm sorry, but you used the wrong word. That's on you. I am slick. Fuck you. Okay, after this chapter, I'm gonna run down and make some more tea, okay? I gotta forget what the fuck? Dude, Milos is actually right. I would die in Lord of the Mysteries, and I would die in like the most bullshit way, and I'd die. I'd be like, no, what the fuck? That's not what you said. And they'd be like, oh, not my problem. You're fucking dead, brother. It'd be like the most bullshit thing ever, okay? It's not my fucking fault. Clown Man, what did you say? In the notice, it was said that even angels can be killed by normal people, which probably means most resurrection methods are ineffective, which might include miracle invokers ritual. Yeah, I agree. But, yeah, Klein would die. He would just resurrect. He's allowed to do that. But the guy from the God of Combat pathway, no such thing. So, when anyone kills him, because even these 4 Beyonders who are regular basic bitch can kill him, he is kind of cooked. Although there weren't many supplicants in the Storm Cathedral in the evening, Klein chose to appear on a corridor that led to the garden so as to avoid conflict. How magical, Pasha muttered as she looked around. If that chief shepherd comes to the cathedral to tide over the curfew, he could be somewhere like this. If one isn't worried about accumulating the number of crimes they commit, an angel has too many ways to fool the normal person, Klein said. I'll send you to the other cathedrals later. Try to stay in places with glass windows and mirrors. If you discover any outsiders that may be physician, draw a symbol. Before he could finish his sentence, a head grew out from... A head suddenly turned as he looked at the door leading to the garden. A figure who was 2.6 meters tall walked out. Physician, for sure. The chief shepherd of the god of combat, Larian. Without even needing to identify the figure, Klein's spiritual intuition told him the person opposite him was an angel. Larian glanced at him and said, "It's not Ariana." He restrained his expression and said, "Appears to be her helper. You can tell her that I've reached an agreement with 002, which has come alive to a degree. I'll give up on sealing it in exchange for permission to leave, and y'all stay here, enduring the changes in rules and increasingly stricter laws until you're all dead." Oh, you fucked up. You see, Klein probably would have been like, okay to just tie you up and let Ariana deal with you, but you said that. Oh, you were gonna kill an entire city worth of innocent people? Unforgivable. Not to me, to Klein, of course. You're dead. The chief didn't seem worried that Klein would stop him, because when he spoke, his body began aging. The surface of his skin became wrinkled and covered in wrinkles, with aging spots appearing on his skin. In just a few seconds, Larry looked as though he was about to evaporate into thin air. He then turned into a pool of rotten liquid and evaporated. The impact of this scene sent shivers down everyone's spine, except Klein. This was like the countless tiny worms that crawled out of the wound on Mr. Magician's wrist. Strange ability. Something to do with Twilight? Klein didn't plan on stopping Larian, he just nodded. In the spirit world, corresponding to Beltain, Larian's figure appeared. Right on the heels of that, as though he could control the spirit world creatures, he passed through an invisible barrier and escaped the restrictions of the city. But just as Larian was about to begin tearing through space, suddenly everything darkened, like a wall that blocked his path. Larian cautiously stopped, looked up, and saw the 7 pure lights of the world, but he could only see an illusory curtain hanging down from above, enveloping the spirit world. The curtain? At the same time, Larian's intuition as a demon hunter told him that the barrier formed by the curtain was strong and difficult to break through. To this chief, what was happening had a strange comical feeling. Dude, the seer pathway is literally the Deadpool pathway, actually. Godzilla, how's it going? This was akin to him finding the key to the secret chamber after countless hardship, but just when he was about to open the door, he was surprised to find there was an additional lock. It lacks a sense of realism. It's a projection from the void. It's fraud. No, it's outside Beltain City's laws. The projection should have existed here a long time ago. It can't exist for more than 2 minutes, so it'll just dissipate, Larian thought. In the corridors of the Storm Cathedral, everyone finally recovered as they cast their gaze to look at Mr. Magician, who was in no way inferior to the angel from before. Pasha hesitated and said he seems to have escaped. This way, they wouldn't be able to obtain any information about 002's location. Furthermore, no one present knew of the terrifying sealed artifact, describing it as a book. It's too wide. A scope. I can only think of another solution, Klein replied. Do you have any suggestions? He'd been waiting for Larian to return and negotiate with him, but realized the chief would rather wait in the spirit world for the projection to break. And although he could enter the spirit world, he was unable to break through the barrier after he created 002's law changing. As he spoke, Klein seriously considered other solutions and made a few worms of spirit control his body as he spoke to the Beyonders beside him. We should take the initiative to create a contradiction that's similar to what happened to Biles so that he can be in a relatively safe state. Only by doing so will we be able to begin our search. Pasha shook her head. But if we use this kind of contradiction to do something, 002 will add new rules. But it'll buy us time, Phil said. That is something that we can do, Roy agreed, but our focus should be on finding 002. Perhaps we can create some kind of contradiction that'll expose its location? But what kind of contradiction would do that? Aqueous lights appeared on the surface of the mirror at that moment. Pasha, do you want to know what the contents of the new notice boards are? Yes. There were 2 new rules. In compliance with the curfew order, the various cathedrals will be shut down early. All hotels shall only accommodate guests who have registered their identities. Where do we go now? Phil said. He had no idea how he and Pasha could escape punishment. Roy and Pasha exchanged looks as thoughts began surging through their head. At this moment, Klein, who had been maintaining a silence, smiled and cast his gaze at Biles. Where's your house? In Beltain. A rental apartment on 18 Maple Street, but that house has already collapsed from an artillery shell, Biles answered. You can make a wish to return your home to its original state. I'll grant it. That can be done? Although the magician had healed Phil's severed hand, Biles still felt it more difficult to restore an entire home. Of course, Klein said. Make haste. At that moment, the supplicants in the cathedral were leaving one after another. Biles didn't dare delay as he said, I wish my home will return to its original state. All right. Your wish has come true. What? Klein activated teleport once again and brought them to 18 Maple Street. Biles stared at the familiar wooden door in front of him. He reached out his hand to open it. Everything was exactly as it had been before, as his eyes moistened. I've never heard that term used in that sense. His eyes moistened? Why can't you just say, like, tears appeared in his eyes? What the fuck is his eyes moistened? That's, ugh, what a dumb way to say that. I was rebuilding a house harder than putting a hand back together. House is bigger than hand. My answer is very akin to bread is tastier than key. Fuck. Okay. Okay. I just realized we're not going to be able to make it at 12:90 today. Shit. Okay. My brother needs me to... We need to do something. Shit. Shit. My eyes become moist as I hold back tears. Really? Fuck. Okay. All right. Okay. So I got a half an hour. Do you guys want me to go for another half an hour, or do you want me to just leave it at 12:86, which is where Luvian said is okay to leave it? Fuck. Sorry, guys. Shit. Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can... Don't look at... Okay, okay. You know what? Okay, you know what? I think I can... Okay. I think I can probably eke it out. Okay. You know what? Fuck it. Okay. We're gonna really lock in. We're gonna get to 90, but I'm gonna need to lock in, okay? Hold on. Let's go. Biles said, I wish that my home's returned to its regular state. Your wishes come true, whatever. Come home. Okay. Before the war broke out, he often saw his mother busying herself in the local, on the coal stove when he came back from the mines. His brother and father were either made use of the time to do some repairs or handle some spoiled parts of the fruit and vegetables. They did some of the work that could be taken home. His young niece learned the alphabet from old newspapers under the guidance of her mother. Although such a life was difficult, they didn't have the ability to avoid risks. They still had wonderful memories for Biles. It was many times better than the dark mine paths, heavy oars, and the whipping of his superiors. Aren't you going to invite us in? Phil stood on the edge of the door, not daring to trespass. Please, come on in, Biles said. After entering the home, Klein pulled a chair that could break at any moment and sat down. No. No need to rush. Okay, you know what? You know what? Ramirez right. Okay, let's just do this. Let's just do 86 right now, and then fuck it. Let's do 86 right now, and then we'll do a night stream, a short stream. We'll do a short night stream. We'll get to 90, and then we can do that. How's that? Okay, we'll get there today, but we'll skip that right now. Okay, because I don't want to. You guys are saying, and plus this is cool. This is cool. It's like a cool arc, so I don't want to push it. It's fine. Okay. Roy and Pasha and the others didn't dare to disturb the gentleman as they sat quietly. After 20 or 30 seconds, Klein looked around and said, I have an idea that requires verification. Who wants to work with me on this? In like 6.5 hours or so, Dr. Z. 6.5, 7 hours or so. I'll do it, Roy said. Klein smiled. Afterwards, don't truthfully answer the question. I'm looking for loopholes, hidden 002's rules. That won't be an issue. Don't worry, I remember any earlier than that and it becomes like horrible timing for you. No, it should be around 5:30 for Dr. Z if it's in about 6.5 hours, I think. Maybe 6:30. A scene appeared on the surface of the silver mirror. It was the chief shepherd of the Church of God of Combat, pacing around the spirit world. Roy's expression stiffened as he heard Miss Magician... 3:30? What? In 7 hours? Are you sure? No. It's 9:30. Oh, fuck. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. Then we'll do it in like 8 hours. Fuck it. Then we'll do it in 8 hours. We'll do it in 8 hours. Fuck it. Okay, we'll do it in 8 hours then. Fuck it. Roy reined in his thoughts and looked back at the mirror. How the mirror had already transformed into Miss Magician and a few more lines of blood. Who did you give your first time to? No, wait, what? What the fuck? I missed something. Hold on. Klein immediately took out the magic mirror and said to Roy, ask it a question. Roy thought for a moment and said, where can I find my next potion? A scene appeared on the surface of the mirror, the chief shepherd of the Church of God of Combat, pacing around. Roy's expression stiffened when he then heard Mr. Magician say, it's your turn to ask it a question. Remember, don't give it a correct answer. Roy hurriedly reined in his thoughts as the words appeared. Who did you give your first time to? Roy recalled his past as his face turned red. He answered according to Mr. Magician's instructions. I'm not sure. A lie! Blood-red colored text appeared on the silver mirror. A bolt of lightning appeared out of nowhere and struck Roy. Roy convulsed in pain as his body was charred black. But his life wasn't in danger. Everyone was startled, unsure of what had happened. Klein looked around and smiled. Look! The mirror didn't get punished for voluntarily causing harm. A real opportunity lies here. He said, hey, I have a theory that requires some confirmation. Also some lightning strikes, but you don't need to know that. It's fine. A real opportunity. Everyone was delighted to hear this. They finally had some ray of... Hate that the statue of ASG... He is in the middle of the screen. What do you mean? Maybe it's... I don't think so. I think it's like centered. What do you mean? Is this centered? What kind of opportunity? Roy blurted out. Klein wasn't in a rush. He smiled and said, did you guys not notice? There is no clear indication on the notice who the enforcer is. As a keyboard warrior of the past, Klein always claimed to be a jack of all trades. Furthermore, he had interacted with many lawyers in his life and had the Earl of the Fallen marionette before. He had a basic foundation of laws and rules. He is slightly to the right. Is this better? That's right, the announcement just mentioned a new console. We don't know who the enforcer is, or we encountered a invisible justiciar before, Pasha and others thought. ASG's chin should be above 6. You're saying this is center? Okay. I'm gonna move the text, not him. Okay. Okay, Upon seeing this, Klein reached out his hand to stroke the surface of the mirror. Under normal circumstances, everyone has tacitly acknowledged that the police and authorities responsible for dealing with supernatural cases enforce the law, confirmed through a series of legal documents or corresponding public knowledge, but this time the rules haven't reached such an airtight level. If we say that the rules are built on a blank slate composed of original laws, directives, and rules, then we should have seen the police, Nighthawks, or Punishers when we committed crimes, but we didn't. In other words, the corresponding enforcer is vague. Pasha, who is the most knowledgeable amongst the Beyonders, thought for a moment and said, perhaps the enforcer is an abstract concept, or is tacitly equivalent to the new console. The latter isn't clear either. I don't know. I don't make it clear who the. It doesn't make it clear who the new console is. It could be anyone. But we can't enforce the law like the citizens. The authority is determined by eliminating groups via labels, Klein explained. Foreigners are targets of ostracization and pursuit, so they lack the required enforcement rights. As for citizens, they only have it when dealing with beyonders, or when dealing with foreigners. So I just used the contradiction hidden in the manner to get Roy to test it. First of all, the mirror isn't a foreign being, nor is it local, just an item. It can't be placed into a group. This way, in a situation where the law enforcer isn't clear, those who are part of the elimination process have the right to enforce the law as well. Secondly, it punished a foreigner. Those notices imply that all those who deal with foreigners are law enforcers. Finally, the magic mirror itself has the rules of punishment, but therefore, before this rule is announced to be illegal, it has the rights to punish others. Based on the 3 points, I believe 002 should be in a lot of conflict right now. Next, it will issue a new law to clearly determine the main body of law enforcement to mend the loopholes. Once the main body of enforcement is revealed, it will contain a lot of information and help us lock onto them. If 002 uses a method of adding prohibitions, it will restrict itself, as it shares the same attributes as the mirror. Could it be that Mr. Magician is a wise man who likes to travel amongst the commoners in legend? The four Beyonders thought. At this moment, the mirror held in Klein's hand emitted a misty light. 2 more lines appeared on the bottom of the original piece of paper. All law enforcement must be carried out by the truanced brass book or the group it authorizes. Any private rules can't surpass the official decree. Truanced brass book. This is the first time we've heard much of the Truanced family. This is good. This is good. They wielded the Black Emperor pathway. Okay, cool. That is the full name of 002. The opportunity is finally here. Klein's expression turned serious. He had forced 002 to clarify the main law enforcement to obtain more information. Based on his deduction, 002 was more or less related to a particular Sephira. Just like how he was back when he had yet to become the full owner of Sephira Castle. Therefore, furthering his understanding of it would inevitably result in corruption. To a certain extent, Sephira was equivalent to a Great Old One. By now, Klein had used such knowledge to lock onto the location of Kotar. From his point of view, 002 was more corrupted by a Sephira than him. After all, artifacts are always in a state of having lost control, so need to be sealed. Under such circumstances, the understanding of 002 would result in corruption. This reality proved Klein's hypothesis. It was also because of this danger that he didn't show the new contents do you remember which pathway? Wasn't that the wasn't the Tron's pathway the Black Emperor one? Okay, let me lock it. Let me lock in. I'm sorry, okay? And it was And it was also because of this danger that he didn't show the new contents by Eridus to the other 4 Beyonders. In cogitation, Klein quickly sensed that he had an invisible connection with a certain spot. The indescribable corruption was surging over. At the same time, he flicked out a gold coin. He used Sephra Castle's aura to cut off the connection and isolate the corruption. Immediately after, a clear image appeared in his mind. Klein grabbed the gold coin with his left hand, and after the glove turned transparent, he vanished from the room. On the side of the hall, with floor-to-ceiling windows, there were many rectangular tables, and there was a book bound by thin brass. Found you. He used the brief moment of connection to do a divination, and relied on the attraction between the Sephiroth to teleport over. The law of convergence between Sephiroth would allow Klein to accidentally enter the library and discover the book. It might have happened 2 days later, 2 weeks later, or even 2 years later. It wouldn't happen at a particular time. The clothes on Klein's back immediately cracked as a blood-red stroke appeared, a punishment for trespassing. Thankfully, this crime is very light, and I won't be punished for this crime for 1 to 2 minutes. The rules give the trespassers time to withdraw. Klein grabbed out and reached the void. He didn't pull out Ariana. This was because to a non-committal person, a projection was a form of fraud. He only used this method to send the information of the location to Ariana. Due to the same reason, Klein dispersed the glove on his left hand. I have mixed feelings on it. I think this arc is so cute. I think this is so good. We finally get some more information on this family because I don't know much about it. I feel like this is the one. Alista and Truant switch pathways, one to Red Priest, one to Arbiter. Oh, so Truant switched to the Arbiter pathway. Oh, I see. Okay, cool. Okay, so I was right the first time, but then I kept flip-flopping. During this process, the brass book started flipping through its pages and displayed the rules. When one's rationality drops to 20% of its original value, they would show signs of losing control. Scholar of Yore has the ability to summon historical void projections. The success rate depends on the familiarity and friendliness of the target. The Truant's brass book is the most precious item. No living being is permitted to touch it. Those in violation are sentenced to death. No one is allowed to change the condition of the Truant's brass book in any way. Those in violation are sentenced to death. You know what you need? You need to be put above the gray fog and fucking just made to shut the fuck up. The rules made Klein's eyelids twitch. He felt his rationality dropping, causing the primordial one's brand in his body to become more active. The first part of the rule is presented in the grayish-black, as though its state can't be changed, requiring 002 to awaken further. If it does, this will be terrifying. It might reduce the success rate of my summonings, or cause Beyonders to show signs of losing control if their rationalities fall even a little. Book is acting like user. Listen, even though he has been not so nice to me, I still like to be nice to everyone. So no, we do not disparage others, okay? Unless I'm on like a really hateful arc, but we try not to go on those, okay? I'm trying to be on my Thorfinn arc, okay? I would like to be better, okay? So. But if the outer deities grasped this artifact, this problem would be insane. The next second, he heard a smacking sound. The figure of Ariana appearing. She was lashed by an invisible whip. The first problem has been solved. Now the second. How to seal this fellow? Klein asked. We've been in VC, we know. Oh. Okay, come on. Romero, come on. I'm not hateful to anyone, okay? Stop it. The first problem. Ariana shook her head. Before it wouldn't be long before he would suffer a second punishment. The corresponding information has been destroyed. We can only resolve it through trial and error. That's dangerous. We don't know, but someone knows. Klein's heart stirred as he made his spirit body leave his body and enter the spirit world. Through the invisible barrier created by 002, he said to the Church of Combat's chief shepherd, "Perhaps we can make a deal. You want the method to seal 002? You think I'll agree?" Larian said. "Actually, I am puzzled. Why must you sacrifice yourself for the fallen god of combat? By joining the Church of Evernight, you can still be an angel, still receive blessings, and live for a long time." Huh, a mythical creature without any pious faith wouldn't be willing to understand me. as an evil god, isn't it normal for me not to be devout? Klein couldn't help but mutter. This was his humanity. Alright. Okay, we'll end stream there. Yo. Sorry, I know I said we would get to 90. I fucking lied. Okay, I apologize. It was not intended to be like this. Something just came up. If you guys want, we can go to like 90 at the end of the day. We can go to 90 by tonight, and then we can do like if you guys just want to hang around, we can do like a gaming stream or something. We can start Hollow Knight. I can buy it if you guys are interested. Or we can just do like a short 3-chapter stream and call it a night. Either way, I don't know. We'll figure that out. Yeah, I'll schedule it right now, Romero. I promise. Alright, y'all. I'll see y'all tonight. We'll get to 90. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great rest of your day or nights. I'll catch y'all very soon. Bye, guys.